Hello, my name is Madyson Arthur, a local real estate broker here in Seattle, helping you find the right fit if you're relocating neighborhoods or potentially moving from a different city entirely. Today we're going to be talking about North Seattle. Generally speaking, I would define this area as urban suburban. So you'll see lots of downtown strips with restaurants, coffee shops, quirky boutiques, and things like that. And surrounding those main streets, you'll have lots of townhomes, apartment buildings, and then as you extend further out, you'll see more residential homes. So starting with North Seattle's geography, it is quite hilly, and then generally speaking, as you move towards Lake Union, you're going to have flatter areas. This is also where the Burke-Gilman Trail is, a really awesome place for running, biking, and any other kind of trail-based activities. It actually runs all the way from Ballard to Bellevue, so it crosses the bridge as well, which is pretty cool. And I believe it stretches longer than a marathon or right around there. So the next thing we're going to talk about right before we jump into every specific neighborhood is actually grocery shopping. So in North Seattle, there are two main kind of hubs for grocery shopping, and they're both Fred Meyer's. These are big, massive, large parking lots. You can get a lot of stuff here. The first one is in Greenwood, and then the second one is down south between Fremont and Ballard. Then next to these Fred Meyer's, you also have lots of QFCs, PCC markets, and Safeways nearly in every North Seattle neighborhood with really easy access no matter kind of where you live. Okay, so the first neighborhood we're going to be chatting about today is Ballard. And the general way I would describe Ballard is it's kind of this tucked away in the city but feels like it has its own identity area, neighborhood. It's pretty big. It has this very trendy coastal feel to it. There's also quite a bit of history. And in Ballard, there's approximately 36,000 residents. So looking at Ballard as a whole, the southern end is kind of where you have a strips of bars, restaurants, lots of shops, things to do, places to see. This is close to the waterfront where you also have the Ballard Locks and running trails. Surrounding this area, you'll have primarily townhomes and apartments, and then as you move further north, this area becomes more residential, so you have more parks and single-family homes, larger lots. Generally, when looking at Ballard, there are a few styles of homes that also stand out. You'll often see in Ballard lots of craftsman homes, Tudors, contemporary condos, and then quite a few new construction townhomes. So now we're going to kind of talk about some of the highlights of Ballard and what it's like living there. The first one that I'll mention is that Ballard has quite a Norwegian history to it, and there's actually a Norwegian museum here. It's called the Nordic Museum, and it's kind of a cool place to go check out if you're wanting to learn more about Ballard's Norwegian past. And right adjacent to it is actually where part of the Burke-Gilman Trail is. And you can run this trail all the way to Golden Gardens State Park, which is probably one of the best parks in Ballard. It looks out on the Sound. It's absolutely gorgeous. And during the summer months, there's lots of bonfires and fun activities here. I always see people playing volleyball in the sand. So overall, a very lively and fun place to explore. I've also heard that there's some good fishing if you're one of those people who likes to fish right offshore. Now, Ballard's downtown is home to lots of awesome food. So first off, for a classic slice of pizza, I definitely recommend checking out Ballard Pizza Company. If you want something more fancy, I'd also consider Asadero for upscale carne asada, or the Walrus and the Carpenter if you're looking for an oyster shooter. I also really love Sabine for cocktails and appetizers. And then if you're looking for a good beer, Ballard is home to a walkable cluster of fantastic local breweries, usually referred to as the Ballard Brewery District. And some of my favorites are Obeck's, Reuben's, and Urban Family. Now, who would Ballard be good for? So if you're someone who's looking for easy access, I don't know if Ballard is going to be the best fit, just because it is quite tucked away, and to get to I-5, you're going to have to hop through Fremont and Wallingford. And then to get to downtown, you got to drive all the way through Queen Anne as well as parts of Magnolia. So just not the best for commuters. That being said, it still is about 15 minutes from the city, so it's not super far. And it kind of has everything that you need. You don't really need to leave Ballard if you need to go to a doctor's appointment or grocery shopping or whatever it may be. And I definitely recommend it as a wonderful North Seattle option. So now we're going to be chatting a little bit about Fremont. Fremont is probably the most urban of the bunch. There are lots of townhomes, there's funky restaurants and shops. It's kind of eclectic and quirky, but a place that has a lot of character. In fact, it's kind of coined as the center of the universe. Fremont is a quick drive to I-5. It also has lots of bus lanes and tons of bike greenways going through it, so it's not a bad place if you want to commute by car or by bike or even walk around. The population size of Fremont is right around 15,000. Now let's talk a little bit about what's going on in Fremont. First, you've got the Fremont Sunday Market. Every weekend the streets are lined with tents featuring different boutique clothing stores, thrifted finds, accessories, food trucks, and all sorts of different things. I personally find a lot of really nice jewelry here. In particular, Lisa's jewelry shop is a favorite of mine. And also in Fremont, there's a lot of cool kind of quirky stores. There's the Fremont Vintage Mall, and then you've also got lots of like record stores and things like that. Fremont is also famous for its troll, which lives under Aurora Bridge. The story goes that it was commissioned in 1990 as a part of an art competition to rehabilitate the area under Aurora Bridge. So kind of interesting story, but definitely a fun place to check out. Fremont is also a really good place to be for bars, restaurants, and nightlife. Regarding food, there's a couple of upscale spots like LaCoin and Hamdi. You've also got great places like Jai Thai and Paseo. Now, bordering Fremont, technically in Phinney Ridge, is also the Woodland Park Zoo. The Woodland Park Zoo spans over 92 acres and is home to over 800 animals. So generally, if you're looking for a very lively, central, fun, easy access neighborhood, Fremont would definitely be a good choice for you. Now, neighboring Fremont, you've got Wallingford. And this is more of a relaxed pace, residential neighborhood with lots of quaint roundabouts, charming tree-lined streets, and overall just a very cozy feel. Here you'll find a lot of craftsman bungalows, Tudors, you might find some mid-century modern homes, and then there's also a handful of new construction. The population size is also about 20,000 residents. For commuters, Wallingford's proximity to I-5 makes getting around super easy. The neighborhood is also rich with tons of parks, and the most popular one is of course Gasworks. This is a really popular spot for tourists but also locals. You can catch amazing views of Seattle skyline, and you can also try your hand at kayaking, sailing, or even hot tub boating, which I have done before. And like Fremont, Wallingford also has a really cute farmers market which takes place in Meridian Park. So off of Wallingford's main street, you have a really large QFC, which is super convenient for shopping. And then you've also got a handful of bars and restaurants. One of the standouts that I'll recommend is the Octopus Bar. Just has a really interesting, unique atmosphere there, and it's a fun place to go for a drink. Now, looking at Wallingford's food scene, you also have quite a few different options. Just a couple that I'll recommend are Dumpling the Noodle, CCK, and Seattle Pops, which is kind of this unique popsicle slash ice cream bar dessert joint in Wallingford. If you're looking for easy access to more lively places like Greenlake and Fremont or downtown to the city, while still having a kind of close-knit, more relaxed residential feel, I think Wallingford would be a really good fit for you. So let's talk a little bit about Greenlake. Greenlake is located just north of Fremont and Wallingford. And of course it's most widely known for Greenlake Park, which has plenty of walking trails, and it has a really awesome lake for water sports and swimming. It's also home to Greenlake Crew, and Greenlake is not only a great place for water activities, but it's also a recreational hub. So there's lots of people playing pickleball, tennis, dodgeball, and basketball here. Population is about 20,000. So just surrounding the lake, there's also quite a range of architecture, but generally the homes that you see are Cape Cods, Craftsman's, and contemporary new builds. And then there's kind of a mix of urban and suburban. There are parts of the lake that are more residential, and then kind of towards the eastern side where the main park is, you'll see more kind of urban townhomes and condo style buildings. There's lots of good bars, restaurants, and just things to do just surrounding the lake. A couple of my favorites are Retreat Coffee, Wooden City Tavern, and then Greenlake Bar and Grill. Right along the water, you also have just a few blocks to the east a really nice PCC market. So for those looking for a sporty, fun, outdoorsy place with lots to do and a location where you can get to quite a few different places, I think Greenlake would be a good fit for you. Okay, so our next neighborhood is Ravenna. Ravenna is a somewhat hilly and relaxed residential area neighboring the University of Washington, and it's got a charming and tucked away feel, but you also have some of the best shopping in Seattle with U Village right at your fingertips. The population of Ravenna is roughly 1,300 people. When looking at the different types of homes in Ravenna, as you are close to U Village, you'll see more apartment-style buildings, and then predominantly here it's mostly single-family residential. And what you'll see are a lot of Tudor homes, craftsman bungalows, and then occasionally a newer construction home. So what kind of activities do you have going on in Ravenna? Well, as mentioned earlier, Ravenna houses North Seattle's best shopping center, U Village. This outdoor mall has so many different popular shops that you can check out. There's Restoration Hardware, Anthropologie, Athleta, Reformation, the Apple Store, and so many more. Surrounding Uville, there's also some awesome food spots. Din Tai Fung is known for their really good Taiwanese food. And then one of the kind of fun spots to get a little drink that I recommend is called Rachel's Ginger Beer. As for outdoor recreation, Ravenna Park has plenty of walking trails, green spaces, and then outdoor play areas. Now, with Ravenna being so close to the University of Washington, it actually also allows for some really fun activities affiliated with the school, such as sporting events, musical performances. There's also a dock that is run by students at the waterfront, and that's a fun activity too. So who would Ravenna be a good fit for? Well, if you're looking for something more relaxed and tucked away, but you still have the amenities of shopping, being close to I-5, and also having lots of activities to do surrounding a Pac-12 school, then I think Ravenna would be a really good fit for you. So that's it for the video today, but I will be making more videos on North Seattle neighborhoods and other neighborhoods around the greater Northwest Washington area too, so stay tuned for those. And if you have any specific questions, comment down below, because I do find that feedback will help me make something really compelling and helpful for you. I am a local real estate broker here in Seattle, so if you're looking to buy or sell soon, let's definitely connect. I have my information down below. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you for the next one.